guys started to make that run and eventually tried it, that you can implement against St. Peter's on Wednesday?
Well, we were sharper defensively. In you know, some of our early, you know, defensive lapses, you know, some of it's come from just execution, right? Like we talked about keeping those guards to their left hand, we let them get to their right hand. Some of it is a language barrier. You know, it's everybody's coming from these different places and they have a different language that they speak on that end. And you know, what we call one thing, they're used to calling it. So we've had that in the first two games where someone's like, well, I said, and then as soon as they're saying like, well, I said, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't call it that. Right? So you're trying to like break down this, you know, be like bringing people from all different languages and like, okay, you know, you all call water something different, you know, but, and I call it water, you guys call it water or whatever people say, but, you know, like there's, and now you're in real time trying to call out a switch, right? So, well, it's a different language for us than it is for all these different places that they've all been. So, you know, trying to get them comfortable with that, get them used to that. But I thought when we really buckled down in the second half, we got our defense going, we started to guard them the right way, communication was better, and we talked to them about like communication. A lot of coaches say communicate, and what they're saying is talk. But really communication is talking, listening, and then executing what we need to do. So, you know, we're getting the talk part down, we're a little bit better at the listening, we have to be sharper with the execution. And I thought we did that in that stretch. And then we were able to get out, again, we talked about it all week, was our defense was gonna have to carry us in that game because then we could get out in transition. Well, that's what we did. When we made a run, it was stop, transition, layup, three. That's who we have to be. So, you know, people want to talk about the pace and want to talk about those things. And yeah, we've scored a bunch of points in these first two games, but it's about our defense. If our defense is solid, then that's when we can get out and run and where we're really dangerous.
What did you like about Ward in that game?
Yeah, he was, you know, I wasn't sure. Obviously, he was given the thumbs up to go. He was still moving a little gingerly in practice, and I thought early in the game, and I wasn't quite sure. You know, and then when we went back to him in the second half, you know, after he kind of got that early, get his legs under him, you know, he was really good. He's just super efficient, and not just his shots, right? He was 3 for 3, and, you know, but I think they told me he had 14 touches, took 13 dribbles, and scored whatever, he scored 12 points. Like, that's efficient basketball, right? And now as his minutes continue to increase, as he gets stronger, and you know, we get further away from the injury, you know, he's somebody that you can count on, you know, coming off the bench, giving you that pop, whatever it is. You know, he knows how to play, he plays the right way, he's about the right things. We've challenged him on the defensive end, and he's made major strides in that area, including staying on the floor in those stretches where, to be honest with you, a month ago I thought, well, we'd be going offense, defense for that last 4 or 5 minutes with him. But he, to his credit, he has really worked on that and taken a lot of pride in improving that area of his game.
Are you still working Keyshawn into the rotation a little bit? Was there a reason? Was it a matchup thing that Firm saw significantly more minutes than he did when Lazar went down?
Yeah, I mean, just their physicality and size. You know, and Firm's got the experience in those games, right? Like, he's been through it, he knows what it is. You know, those guys all bring something different to the table, which is good, but also makes it hard sometimes because now you're like, all right, well, if this is working, we got to take that guy out. You know, you're going to lose some of that. So, yeah, I mean, that, you know, the rotation is still kind of a work in progress, right? You start to see some things fall in place. But yeah, I mean, we're very much right now game to game and matchup to matchup and situation to situation. Like, you know, I've done more offense, defense at the end of the first half in 2 games than I did in whatever number of games the last 2 years, right? Just because we have the ability to do that. Hey, all right, throw Terrence in there for offense, throw Brandon in there for defense, throw, you know, Mike Bell in for defense, throw Tyrell in for offense, whatever it is, you know, we can do that. So it's a little more situational than, all right, like let this group ride out the last 3-4 minutes of the half. No, it's, all right, there's a stop, like, hey, come on, let's try to get a bucket right. Okay, here's the stop, let's get that guy so we can try to get a stop on the defensive end. So yeah, I mean, you know, for all those guys right now, it's, matchup to matchup, game to game. But that's what it was in that one. You know, like Firm just brought a little more physicality in the game where, you know, their size and physical nature was going to be a big, you know, play a big role. So.
Coach, you raved in the offseason, or you talked about how you wanted to build this roster with efficient players who score the ball efficiently, do things efficiently. Is